One on Capitol Hill is predicting the president will be removed from office despite the House impeachment vote. I spoke this week with Central Ohio Congresswoman Beatty, who says even though the Senate is not expected to rule against the president, this process has not been a waste of time.
Oh, I don't think it's been a waste of time at all. As you will recall, we have been participating in legislative practices looking at what has happened under this president's administration. And when you think of someone who has abused his power, someone who has not worked within what our Constitution tells us to, we are now ready at the point to deliver those articles. The president has already been voted on, and that impeachment will carry for the rest of his life.
How important is it for the American people to hear witnesses through this process?
Oh, I think it's absolutely critical. When you think of sending this over to the Senate, certainly, as you know, the trial begins. I've not seen a trial starting where you don't call witnesses. So I think the Democrats are expecting the senators to proceed with a trial, to call in witnesses, and I think the Republicans will have to decide if they're going to follow what's fair in the procedure or they're going to be part of a cover-up.
You know, in the midst of all of this, we have the Iranian crisis. It looks as if that situation is de-escalating, but from your perspective and what you're hearing on briefings on Capitol Hill, how concerned should we be about that situation in the Middle East?
I think we're always concerned. People every day when I'm home in the district, they ask me if they are safe, what's happening with this situation. Certainly we know what happened at the onset with the president killing Soleimani. We also know then that there were threats back to us in the United States, and we were able to not have any damage or any fatalities with that. But then we know just this weekend what happened in them being able to bomb a plane by mistake, they are saying, but 130 individuals died. So I don't think that we can just automatically say this is ended and this is over. And that's the beauty of having an armed forces and to have those who are fighting to defend our country ready and prepared if needed to be.
Congresswoman, I know you had a legislative victory yesterday, earlier this week, I should say. You had a unanimous approval of a minority banking bill. First of all, it's unusual to have bipartisan support at this time, it seems like, on Capitol Hill.
Yes.
But why is that bill important to people here in Ohio and across the country?
It's very important because certainly, as we know, so many minorities are unbanked and underbanked. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to serve on the Financial Services Committee, so I can stand up and be a voice for those who are voiceless and to get things done. So now we have 149 minority depository institutions in the country. We only have 19 black-owned banks. We used to have a black-owned bank not far from my district in Dayton, Ohio. So this allows the opportunity to maybe change those numbers and be able to maybe in Ohio be able to have a MDI. And what that really means is it allows smaller banks, minority-owned banks who serve those minorities traditionally in those communities to be able to maybe get that house loan, to be able to go in and talk to someone who understands and is willing to help them. It also allows them to get financial resources. It allows them to get technical assistance from the non-minority bank. It was a big win, 57 individuals to 0 in committee, and then it passed unanimously yesterday on the House floor.
Congresswoman, before I let you go, we know bipartisanship is going to be difficult to come by during this election year. The nation seems to be fractured politically. What are you optimistic about, or what do you predict it's going to be like for all of you on Capitol Hill in 2020?
Well, I think we have to continue doing what we're doing that we did at the very end of 2019. We have to move forward with legislation. We have to be in our districts fighting for those individuals we represent. We have to be forceful and not afraid to bring things to the floor because we're in the majority now. It was a lot different when we were in the minority, but now we're coming up with some of the best and most creative ideas through our chairmen and chairwomen who are running these programs. And so I'm very hopeful because our constituents still have needs and they're contacting us. Constituents are saying to us, this is what we need in housing, in health care, with the environment, and so many more things. So I'm excited that we're going to continue to fight because I think that's what we have to do, serve the people and stand up for them.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you for taking your time to talk to us today.
Thank you.